Hey guys, Rexasaur here, and welcome to Battle 2 for the first round of the Empire group of heroes of the old world. On this side we have Moosey, who has brought Karl Franz on a horse that seems to be very hungry right now and wanting to eat something. He has also bought a unit of Demigryph Knights with halberds. He has bought 2 units of Reichsguard here and 1 unit over there. He has 1, 2, 3... 1, 2, 3, 4 units of spearmen with shields. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 units of crossbowmen. Interesting choice of there. 1, 2, 3, 4 units of great swords. So that's his army. Incoherencel's side is exactly the same as we saw against Rebel. He has 1, 2, 3, 4 spearmen, 2 units of handgunners, 5 units of great swords. He's bought a warrior priest. He has 1 unit of demigryphs with halberds and 1 unit of Empire Knights, along with Balthazar Gelt on his Pegasus. And he also has bought 2 units of Empire Knights here and 1 unit of demigryphs with halberds. Let's go! Northern Chaos Waste is the map as usual, and we're going to go forward. I am very interested to see how these crossbowmen are going to fare. Crossbowmen are alright. They're not bad. They're just as, like, melee damage wise, they're exactly the same as the handgunners. I believe they have exactly the same amount of damage. I could check, but I'm too lazy right now. No, I can do it. So yeah, so these guys doing a missile damage of 16, yeah, but it's armor piercing damage. These guys 21. Actually, they do more damage. No, I did not know that. So there we go. So these guys are going to be able to do quite a bit of things, and it looks like the warrior priest has cast something on these great swords as the crossbows come into range and start firing their first volley. Will they get a volley off before? Yes, they will manage to get a volley off onto the men, doing quite a bit of just damage, no kills. Actually, no, 1 spearman did get hit. But on the flanks, Incoherencal is going to advance on the flanks, and Moosey is going to retreat his line, trying to form a defensive formation, allowing Inky to come forward because he has the range advantage. He's actually outranges, I believe, the handgunners. Oh, they might be the same range. I think they're the same range, actually. But he's going to retreat his line. I'm not entirely sure if that was the best idea on Moosey. I think he should have stayed his line forth, put a few shots, and then allowed the handgunners to move up. Because the handgunners are armor pierced. Actually, he's moving his line very far back. He should probably have moved it to about here instead, because these handgunners are going to be firing against these great swords, doing a horrendous amount of damage, whilst the crossbows may not be in range themselves. So in the rear we have the Reichsguard being attacked by the demigryphs with halberds. They're going to be doing very good, and the demigryphs actually being shot by the crossbows, but the Reichsguard is going to get most of the fire as well. That's not going too well. On this flank, it hasn't yet been engaged. I don't think any spells have actually been cast either. We do have the priest, who has put a Shield of Faith, putting 22% damage resistance in addition, so that's pretty good over there. And we got the Reichsguard finally routed by an extra charge from these Empire Knights on Incoherencel's side. Not Incoherent. It is Incoherencal. I am right. Don't know what the hell I'm on about. Moosey's line seems to be a bit all over the place right now. He's got orders going all over. He's got great swords attacking great swords and things. So the line is going okay. He's got a lot of missile. That's my thing, though. He's got quite a bit. He's actually sent these guys probably by accident to attack another unit. So they're going to move through and then get attacked from the rear with all the Empire Knights rushing in. Not actually getting a very good charge on these guys, but these crossbows are going to get damage, and we get another, I think that was a Shield of Faith. No, hold the line and stand on ground, which means that the general on Moosey's side has just, that'll be, I need to remember, this is fucking Moosey. Karl Franz doing the deeds here. There he is, Karl Franz on his warhorse. Not a barded warhorse, just a casual one. So he's going to be trying to take out as many demigryphs as possible. In fact, these are friendly demigryphs going against everyone else. So yes, demigryphs with halberds, in fact. So there we go, just moving up. We got Balthazar, who's actually gone on the ground to attack these spearmen with shield. That's not a very good place for him at all, because these guys are going to have an advantage. Looking okay, to be fair. It's not looking like it's the worst things going on, but these demigryphs and halberds are still there. Empire Knights are still there as well, although they are about to get charged by these Reichsguards, although they didn't get a very good charge off. The main melee is going very moderately for Moosey. It's not going too well. These crossbows in combat with these great swords, they're going to die very, very quickly. Over here, pretty much the same effect. Some of these units, like crossbows, just randomly in the melee as well. Great Swords versus Spearmen with shield, also not going to do incredibly well. But these crossbows are coming back from routing. They have to attack where they can. And we have the first spell of the game, Transmutation of Lead, having been forced upon these Demigryphs, or everyone in that order, I think. It's just Demigryphs, it could be the Spearmen. Yeah, it is everyone in that range. So Incoherencal going to be doing a lot of things. He's actually going to cast a Golden Hounds, which has completely missed the target. He was probably aiming it to go over there, but it's kind of just watered around, going elsewhere. I love this spell, it looks amazing. But yeah, it looks like the line is still holding for Moosey, but it's still very pressured. We got a Warrior Priest right in the center there. It's going to be doing a lot. It's actually just booted a whole lot of dudes. It's been doing pretty good, just firing his stuff. We got a little charge from his Demigryphs into the rear of this, knowing that his Great Swords are going to go down. He has to do something. Moosey holding these Spearmen back because he's forgotten about them, but he needs to go attack these Demigryphs with them as well. It's not looking too good anymore for Moosey. It has turned very quickly as the melee in the center is starting to crumble for him. His Great Swords going down to the ongoing pressure of everything going around. This Warrior Priest instilling a nice steady set of buffs on all the men around him, as you can see. Soulfire giving 90% magic resistance for a very small amount of time, and that's kind of a pointless one. But he's doing Hammer of Sigmar, Face Bastion. A searing metal coming down onto these crossbowmen from Balthazar, who is still in the air, not being shot at. If Moosey had used his crossbows to attack Incoherencel's general, that may have changed the way that the game might have gone. The general buff still quite effective whilst the general is alive. These guys not really doing anything. Like, Incoherencal hasn't moved these guys, and they're getting popped off by the crossbows, although the crossbows not doing a whole lot of damage, to be honest. And Balthazar's just hanging around, having a nice time up there, not getting shot at, so he's not going to really care, is he? He's just going to hang around, having a nice time. Another buff from the Warrior Priest, who doesn't have a Shield of Fate, losing ground. Moosey, all his men are starting to do. If we look at the troop count, they actually have exactly the same amount of troops, pretty much. So it's actually pretty even, but it just seems that Moosey has a whole lot of very singular units, whilst Incoherencal has a few very, very full units. Doing pretty good. All these guys are quite on low health, actually, so I might be mistaken in that case. It does seem to be a whole lot of very small units on both sides. Just these guys are all packed together, giving themselves morale buff. Also, these guys haven't been chasing anyone. They're just, we've got some handgunners randomly firing at these shield spearmen. These guys are just hanging around. I mean, they're not really chasing anything down when they could be chasing against these spearmen or against these, like, swordsmen and crossbowmen. But I don't think that'll be necessary. I think this game is going to go for Incoherencal pretty much straight away. Right now, I think because of the amount of fate. Actually, that is Karl Franz. If Karl Franz goes down, and there we go, he has fled, then the game is won, and the game is indeed won. A valiant defeat, which means a very Pyrrhic victory for Incoherencal, who has got 2 wins now. So yeah, we're going to now look at see how the Last Rebel Gaming does against Total Warzone. Okay guys, welcome back. So here we have Total Warzone versus the Last Rebel Gaming. Total Warzone opting to go with the Karl Franz on Deathclaw. That's sexy looks. And the rest of his army is very similar to what we saw against Moosey. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 handgunners, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 great swords, a witch hunter. We have a demigryphs with halberds over here and Empire Knights over here. 2 units of spearmen with shields and 2 units over here as well of spearmen with shields. On the Last Rebel Gaming side, we have gone for Balthazar Gale on foot, as well as a witch hunter as well. Interesting. We have 2 units of great cannons this time instead of mortars. We have 1, 2 units of halberds here. We have another unit on the flank here, and I believe that's it. No, we got a few over there. 1, 2, so we've got 5 in total. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 great swords and 4 units of handgunners, as well as a unit of outriders here right on the side of the map for Total Warzone, which I missed. Let's go. Striking down. I'm just checking to see if there is any more hidden units, but it doesn't look like it. Great swords, I'm not entirely sure. Great swords, great. Cannons, not sure if they're going to be in range very, very quickly, but either way, going good. Both these men are going towards one another. Striking forward, it looks like Total Warzone is going to engage the skirmish first with some of his men in range beforehand. We've got something being cast on the Witch Hunter. Oh, Searing Doom has been cast by, oh my god, all that's gunfire. Like Empire Total War again. Literally, because this is both players playing the Empire. Anyway, Searing Doom cast by Balthazar Gelt on the Witch Hunter. A very poor choice of a spell to cast on these guys. Handgun is actually taking a whole lot of damage on both sides, but it does seem like Rebel is focusing on one unit at a time, which is much more effective than what Total Warzone is doing. But Total Warzone does have more units, so maybe might have a chance. These Demigriffs with halberds moving away, and it looks like that has had the desired effect of making Rebel turn his guys around, which means they're not going to have a round of firing. It looks like Total Warzone has lost one unit. They have routed, but he's still got 4 units fully firing, taking them down. It looks like 2 of those units have routed, only 2 units left. We do have a Golden Hounds being cast completely away from the enemy line. I'm not entirely sure what he's done here, but it's gone very, very far. And he's cast Searing Doom again. Not a very good spell to cast, in my opinion. I think Searing Doom is way overrated as a spell for the Lore of Metal. I don't think it's very good at all and should probably be avoided. You shouldn't use it. Lore of Fire, however, Fireball for the Lore of Fire is just the best starting spell. So cheap and it does so much damage. So the handgun is being fired at, but still trying to fire at these greatswords as Rebel goes forward and tries to take out Total Warzone's men. But these guys are just going to run away, and the greatswords, the infantry for Total Warzone, is going to come forth instead and do a counter charge. We get a huge charge going on. These halberdiers is going to go down very quickly to the greatswords, as we've seen before. Got Golden Hounds going through, and this one's actually going to do quite a bit of damage to these handgunners, and in fact maybe get a chance to get these ones as well. Yes, very, very good. That one was a much better Golden Hounds. Got a whole unit of handgunners doing nothing here for Total Warzone. These units of spearmen going around. If we look at the cavalry, it does seem like the cavalry for Total Warzone is still around. So that's good for him, I guess. I don't think Rebel actually bought any. I didn't actually pay attention. I sort of called out what he had, but I didn't really see like what he had. Either way, this Witch Hunter is going to be going down very shortly. I would half expect the guy to snipe him down, but he's actually going to go for Balthazar. Probably the wisest decision, as Balthazar is going to be hit by the halberdiers. Got some more Searing Doom going down once again. Not a very good spell in my opinion. Obviously these players can't hear me, so they have no idea yet. But in the future, don't use Searing Doom. It's very bad. Yeah, so these handgunners running away from these spearmen with shields, completely locking them down in place. I forgot he has got great cannons as well. Have these guys done anything? We haven't actually seen much. 28 and 22. That's alright. About 50 kills together. That's not a bad. That's pretty average. But it does look like Total Warzone has once again taken on. This time much less closer than it was against Moosey, in my opinion. As we can see, the final stage of the battle starting. These guys getting shot at by the handgunners continuously, and the Empire Knights going around for cycle charges, I would assume, or getting out of the way so that the handgunners can fire straight into the melee, into the rear of these great swords, taking them down a notch or 2, as we can see the last of these handgunners firing. There we go. See the arrow as the shots come in. Attack from the rear. I do really like the animations in this game, but it does look like Rebels, all his forces are starting to flee, and they're not going to be allowed to come back from routing because of all these guys being chased. And we've got Carfrans going right into these handgunners, and it's a close victory. Apparently I would have given it a bit more of a decisive victory than a close victory for Total Warzone. A very good victory once again. It looks like Total Warzone and Incoherencal both have 2 victories, which means that it will be a decisive finish on seeing who wins the next, who will come first of the group. But right now we're going to look at the table, see exactly where everyone is, and we will then move on to the third and final battles for for the first round of this tournament. So after Battle 2, Turtle Warzone takes the first position with 2 wins, 1,653 troops remaining. Incoherencal drops down to second place with only 1,531 troops remaining, which is still pretty good. Rebel on 2 losses, Moosey also on 2 losses. Moosey at the bottom with only 720 troops remaining. A very whole number for Rebel, actually, 1,200. Anyway, that will do it for this video. The next video will be Battle 3 and the final battle of the whole round. For round 1 will be over, and yes, it's sad to let it go, but round 2 will be starting next week, and that's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed, please leave a like. Tell me who the person you're supporting is, and I will see you guys next time.